I was crying because I got so depressed. Sabi ko, Lord, what's happening? That time was difficult. Alam ko kung ano pinagdadaanan ninyo. Mas mahirap yan. Mahiwalay kayo sa pamilya nyo.
Our guest for today is the newest Kapuso and one of the hosts of Dapat Alam Mo, Mars Pomor, and segment host of 24 Oras, Kuya Kim Atienza. Welcome, Kuya Kim, to Jimmy Pinoy TV, and I'm sure Kapuso abroad are very excited to see your new shows, your upcoming projects. And welcome to Jimmy Pinoy TV. Can you share with us your personal struggles and challenges that you went through during the lockdown, and how did you deal with them?
Well, during the lockdown, I would say that this is the darkest point in my life ever. I went through a couple of health scares. One was a stroke that I suffered in 2010, and then one was a rare disorder, a rare disease in 2013 called Guillain-Barré syndrome. But during the lockdown, things turned 180 degrees again. When I had a stroke, I was at the peak of my career, using my voice for my TV shows and all that, and then I lost my voice because of the stroke. In 2013, I was at the fittest point in my life, and I was ready for my first full Ironman race. I got paralyzed. Now, during COVID-19, the whole world went through the same thing that I went through. Life from being perfect, we were all planning for our Holy Week vacation. We were saving up for a new car or saving up for a new motorcycle. And then boom, COVID-19 happens. All of a sudden, the world becomes like this. We were expecting it to be 3 months. It's been more than a year. And it's still the same. It's getting worse. And not only that, aside from COVID-19, my old station's franchise got revoked. And then I was afraid that I was going to be jobless. I was afraid for my health, my family's health, and then not be able to provide for my family. And not only that, because we were in quarantine, in strict quarantine, I have a good relationship with my wife. But for the past 20 years that we've been married, we'd see each other in the morning and give each other the best that we have in the morning. It's the hour that we have together. We'd see each other at night and have dinner and give each other the best that we can give, because it's our only time two times together. Breakfast and dinner. And then weekends, we'd be showing each other the best of each other. The very first time in our married life that we were stuck together 24/7. So nakita namin ng mga ugali namin na hindi namin nakikita. Nakita ko mga kaibigan niya na hindi ko pala kilala. Nakita niya ang mga kaugalian na ayaw pala niyang nagde-Netflix ako pakiga ako sa kama. Ang feeling niya, tamad-tamad ko. Eh, anong gagawin ko? Ayun lang ang alam mo yung mga bagay na ganyan? Ako naman ay naging siloso naman ako. Naglabasan ng mga pangit na pangit na traits ko, no? And only to realize that I was not alone. That it was happening to everyone, to all couples. And some couples even split up. At na-tiyempo pa na may COVID-19 pa, and then the franchise was revoked pa. Nagsabay-sabay ang mga difficult moments po. It was a trial. That was the time when I literally prayed to God. I literally cried to God like a baby. I remember the time I was coming home from work. I was on my motorcycle. It was raining, and I was crying. I was crying because I got so depressed. Sabi ko, Lord, what's happening? And you know, He heard. Where am I now? That time was difficult. To find out also that it was difficult for a lot of people. That's why I make it a point to be, I'm on Facebook, called Kwentuhan with Kuya Kim. That's my way of being in fellowship and being able to talk to my followers, because I needed someone to talk to them. And some people were there to talk to. But sometimes that's all that's necessary. Kasi first time natin natikman itong ganitong klase ng quarantine, hirap ng buhay, o nagsabay-sabay pa. But again, God was there to cry. And it was the first time that I cried to Him like a baby. And He listened to me. Things became so beautiful. Which led to today, me being Kapuso. Amazing.
Okay, that was an interesting discussion. But before we continue, let's have a quick break.
Ang mga Kapuso shows mapapanood at mapapakinggan din abroad via GMA Pinoy TV, GMA Live TV, at GMA News TV channels. Para mag-subscribe, visit www.gmapinoytv.com. Follow us at GMA Pinoy TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Viber, and TikTok for the latest updates on Kapuso programs, artists, events, promos, and more. Salamat, Kapuso!
The past 2 years had been the time we spent making, baking, planting, renovating, laughing, adding, and trying. But no matter what life throws at us, there will always be something to lift our spirits and give us sparks of hope. We invite you to tell us your stories with shots and snippets of the things that helped you survive this pandemic. Send your snapshots and stories to pinoyinbox@gmanetwork.com and we'll feature them on our newest inspirational segment, Pockets of Hope, on GMA Pinoy TV.
Welcome back! And we are still with Kim Atienza. Sabi mo nga, ang daming may struggles and for you, prayers mo yung tumulong. What can you advise other people who are still going through challenges now?
Prayers is good. Help me. But you know, there are times when you have to see a professional. There are times when you can be clinically depressed. And it's okay not to be okay. As the Korea teledrama says, it's okay not to be okay. When you're not okay, don't hide it. Tell it to someone. If you have to see a professional, go and see a professional. I had a talk with a good friend of mine, Rica Peralejo. Rica is one of the most stable, one of the most steady persons I know. One of the most deeply spiritual people I know. And she was, she's a wife of a pastor. Only to find out that deep in quarantine last year, she was depressed. She had postpartum depression and she was, my gosh, that was Rica Peralejo that I looked up to. Asawa pa ng pastor. It happens to everyone. If it's happening to you right now, it happens to the best of them. It happens to people you look up to. It's okay not to be okay. Prayer works, but if you have to see a professional be able to help you professionally, it will help. So that's my advice.
Aside from that, Kuya Kim, you got into vlogging also, no? How did that come about? Marami kasing nagganon, yung mga iba TikTok, yung iba nagwa-vlog, no? So, paano yung na-develop, Kuya Kim, kumbaga?
I'm a triathlete. And I'm so used to training, swimming, biking, and running. Whenever there's a race, I know that at a certain time, I should be swimming, biking, or running. It's a distance that I have to, because it was so purpose-driven, goal-driven for a race. And then all the races were gone. I signed up for Chicago Marathon. We talked that this. Hindi kami makatakbo. Wala namang karera. I signed up for Ironman in some place. Subic. Wala. Wala lahat. But how can I keep swimming, biking, and running? Sabi ko, alam ko na. I'll invent something. It's called run evangelism. Whenever I'd run, I would cite Bible verses and then I would explain Bible verses while running. All within 1.5 minutes. Dapat lahat. So it gave me purpose to run. So it started my run evangelism thread on Instagram. Instagram na lahat ko. And then, sabi ko, when I'm biking, I can also do the same. So when I'm biking, I call it naman bike evangelism. When I'm cycling, I'm sharing also. People need it now eh. Then sabi ko, why don't I venture into YouTube na rin? Then I got into kwentuhan with Kuya Kim at quarantine. This is on Facebook. Kaya dumami ng 1 million yung Facebook ko within the span of a few months lang eh. But why don't I venture into YouTube? But YouTube was unknown territory eh. I didn't know if I would click or not. So that's how it started. I just became so active on Instagram and then Facebook. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna do YouTube. So that was about a year ago. My YouTube naman, it's not 1 million yet, but it's growing very steady. So in a year, I have about more than 300,000 followers now. So maybe, about a year and a half or 2 years, I'll hit my 1 million mark already. Hopefully.
Kuya Kim, may skills ka ba? Aside from doing all these things, may bago ka bang skills na natutunan during the lockdown?
Natuto ako mag-golf. Matagal na ako hindi nag-golf eh. Pero yung anak ko kasi na taga Boston, sabi niya, whenever I come home, Papa, I want to play with you all the time. Sabi ko, perfect opportunity to be with my son. He's 19 eh. 19-year-olds don't want to be with their dads. But if I learn how to play golf, sabi ko, bumili ako ng net, bumili ako ng mga pamalo at saka golf balls, inaral ko yung sport na The last time I played it was 25 years ago. I learned again. Now I became addicted to golf again. I learned how to play golf. I also learned how to fix my motorcycles because walang mekaniko dahil quarantine. Natuto ko magtono ng karburador, maglinis ng makina, mag-tune up, etc. Yan ang mga bago kong skills.
You've always been active, ano? Ever since ba, active ka na or as you were getting older, mas naging conscious ka to have an active lifestyle?
I was always active. Actually, Angel knows this. In college, I was into bodybuilding, had a big body. And I was into aerobics. My first TV break was a TV aerobics show called Muscles in Motion. This was daily on Channel 9. I would do aerobics. I was active. And then when I got into politics, I forgot about my health. I got into the political lifestyle, which is basically drinking, very unhealthy. That's why I got sick. And when I got sick, I got back to my active lifestyle. I'm back to being active again. But I've always been active, even as a young boy.
Yung image mo, Kuya Kim, very smart ang dating. Ever since ba, studios ka na?
I was always very smart. I knew that I was intelligent, but I hated to study. I did not like structured programs. No? But I knew that I was very smart. Alam ko matalino. Sabi ng nanay ko, matalino rin ako.
Ano ang maipapayo mo sa mga estudyante na nahihirapan sa distance learning?
Pinagdadaanan ninyo ngayon ay napakahirap. Yun kang mag-aral ka na may kasama kang guro, kaharap na yung guro, face-to-face learning. Mahirap na eh. Ngayon pang online. Kids, pagtsagaan nyo pa ng konti. But if you're going through something that's difficult, at medyo nahihirapan kayo, nandyan si mommy, nandyan si papa, kausapin ninyo, sabihin ninyo kung anong nararamdaman ninyo. It's okay. Huwag niyong itago kung ano man ang pinagdadaanan ninyo because I know that it's so difficult. Online learning, distance learning is one of the most difficult phases in your life. Matatapos din to. Kaunting tiyaga lang. But if you're going through something right now, talk to mama and papa. Okay?
May instance ba na nagkamali si Kuya Kim?
Ang image kasi ni Kuya Kim is the walking encyclopedia. Dapat alam ko lahat at dapat lahat ng mga sagot na ibibigay ko ay tama. One time, I joined a game show. Pero may pressure siya. Ang pressure niya, meron kang 100 tao sa audience na minamadali ka, ginugulo ka, inuurat ka, kung ano-ano pa. And the question was so simple. The question was, what is the biggest fish in the world? Yun lang. Ang dali-dali na sagot. Ang sagot ay whale shark. Ang tinanong sa akin, blue whale, whale shark, sperm whale, at isa pa. Sa pagmamadali ko, dahil naiinis ako dun sa audience, dahil nagguluhan talaga yun eh. Ang sinagot ko, blue whale. The blue whale is actually the biggest mammal in the world, the biggest marine mammal in the world. But it's not the biggest fish. The biggest fish is the whale shark. Mali ang sagot. Hanggang ngayon, that was about 16 years ago, hanggang ngayon nasa internet pa rin yan, na nagkamali si Kuya Kim. So that's the downside of being who I am. I have to be correct all the time. When I answer, it has to be correct. Pag nagkamali ako, bawal. Kuya Kim is human, ano? I make mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes, but I'm human. But the image is that I cannot make mistakes. So I'm very careful. I don't join game shows na.
Yung plans mo now that you are in a new environment, I mean, what can our kapuso abroad expect from Kuya Kim? Kuya Kim that we know or ibang level up Kuya Kim ba yung makikita ng ating mga kapuso abroad?
You know, I'll take it a day at a time. I want to be a much better Kuya Kim. The reason why I moved to GMA 7 is because of growth. And being given this opportunity to grow, I want to grow. So therefore, I will do my best to improve. But I will take it a day at a time. It's so hard kasi to promise that be a certain Kuya Kim at a certain point in time. So every day you see me, there has to be value in what you see, and there has to be value in what I say. There has to be take home in everything I say. It will never be about me and about how I look or how I am, but it's about what I say and what I do. And that's always been my motto on TV. The minute I think that it's about me is the minute I will lose it and I'll start, wala na. But when it's about your content and it's about what you say and it's about how you inspire people, then you can go on and on and on and on, regardless.
Pero ano yung mga dream projects mo, Kuya Kim? Yung mga parang you've always thought about doing it pero hindi mo pa nagagawa.
I would love to host a knowledge game show with children battling each other. Parang Battle of the Brains. Para sa student canteen dati. Naglabasan ng mga matatalinong tao. But I'd like to do it with a twist. Kasi masyado nang boring yung talking heads eh. Pwedeng may song and dance in between. Pero parang ganon. But I'd love to host a game show. And if GMA7 gives me that opportunity, I will grab it right now.
Ano yung mga dapat alam mo? Whether it be skill or kung ano man. Kumbaga, ano yung dapat alam?
Dapat alam mo na anak ka ng Diyos. Dapat alam mo that you are awesomely and fearfully made. Dapat alam mo na may nagmamahal sa iyo. Dapat alam mo na may value ka. Dapat alam mo na hindi ka nag-iisa. Dapat alam mo na marami kang pwedeng kausap. Yan ang kailangan. Yan ang dapat mong malaman sa panahon ng COVID. Maraming nadidepress.
Ang ganda. Pero yung skill naman, Kuya Kim, ano yung mga dapat alam?
Dapat alam mong magtanim. Dahil pag nagtatanim ka, plantito ka na, pwede mo pang makain kung ano yung tinatanim mo, just in case maghihirap ka. Dapat alam mong magtipid ng pera. Dahil ngayon alam na natin na anytime pa life, pwede mawala kung ano man ang ari-arian natin. Dapat alam mo na dapat alam mong mag-exercise. Dahil may COVID na, dapat mataas ang resistensya mo para hindi ka magkasakit. Dapat alam mo na magsabi ka ng I love you sa misis mo araw-araw. Dahil importante yan. Lalong-lalo na pagka naka-lockdown kayo. Dapat alam mong magluto ng mga basic na bagay. Pareho ng pagsaing ng bigas o pagluto ng mga simpleng ulam. Dahil napakarami mong oras, dapat samantalahin natin. Dapat alam mo na ang buhay ay hindi Netflix lamang. Na pwede kang gumawa ng marami pang bagay bukod sa panonood ng Netflix na nakaka-addict at napupuyat ka. Dapat alam mo na matulog ka ng mahaba dahil ang pagtulog ay isang solusyon para lumakas ang ating resistensya laban sa virus pareho ng COVID-19.
Ano ang mensahe mo para sa mga kapuso abroad?
Sa ating mga kapuso abroad, alam niyo ba na pagka nahihiwalay ako sa mga anak ko ng ilang araw lang, talagang iyak na ako. At nung umalis ang dalawang anak ko para sa abroad, para mag-aral, hagulgul ako parang bata. Alam ko kung ano ang pinagdadaanan ninyo. Mas mahirap yan. Mahiwalay kayo sa pamilya nyo dahil dapat magtrabaho kayo, dapat maghanap buhay kayo. Kung mayroong mga bagong bayan, kayo yun eh. So hang in there. Kaunting tatag ng loob, dasal, at sabay-sabay tayo makakaraos. At sabay-sabay nating malalagpasan ng lahat.
Thank you, Kuya Kim. Thank you for sharing your time with us. More power to you po.
Thank you very much.
Stronger Together, the GMA Pinoy TV podcast is an original production of GMA International.
Stronger together.